Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, we're going to be doing a flip through of Funky Florals by Megan Wells. This is an awesome book. I'm very excited to work in this. We're also going to be doing a little bit of playing in the book later on, but first we're just going to do a quick flip through. This is a big book. It's a chunky book. This is by Better Day Books, published by Better Day Books, and I have got a couple of their books now, and I do really like them. So here's the books belong to page, and then you've got a whole bunch of notes about the artist in here. She's also got this other book, this 12 mixed media projects Funky Florals book, which I bought that as well, and I really enjoyed reading that, and I'm very excited to use some of the tips and tricks that she had in that book. Yeah, and then she gives you other tips and tricks about how she uses some of her materials. And yeah, I'm very excited to play in this book. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I want it to be very mixed media-ish. So we're going to play. We're going to see how the paper holds up with what I want to do. And if it doesn't end up, you know, working out, then that's okay. I can maybe try to prep the paper or something like that. We'll see. We're going to play. So here's also some fun palettes that they've selected for you to use. I love those colors. And then we'll start with the illustration. So each illustration is a bunch of florals. And so on one side, you have a dark black outline. And then on the back side, you have the exact same image, just in a light grayscale. So if you wanted to do like a no line coloring, which is what they were showing you here, you could do that on this page and it would be really beautiful. But yeah, so we're just going to look at the black sides of each one. So you have a variety of different kinds of illustrations, and I think that this is just going to be so much fun to play with. Now, like I said, am going to try to be using this as a mixed media book. So some of these kind of wallpapery pages, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with those, and those are kind of my least favorite kind of pages anyway. So those will probably be some of my tester pages first to find out, you know, if my mediums that I'm wanting to use will actually work on this paper. Now I had, in a different book by the same publisher, I had used some water mediums. They worked pretty well. I did have to work with it a little bit extra because the paper was a little thirsty, but it ended up working out and I got pretty good results. So I'm excited to see what I need to do, or what I can do on this paper. Now, like this wallpaper page, I do like because the flowers are all different. Even though it's a whole sheet of the same kind of flowers, it's, you know, or the whole sheet of flowers, it's a little bit different. But yeah, so there's just such a variety, and I like all of them. I like these ones too, where she's got like little animals or different things thrown in here too. I like a lot of the ones that have the script writing in there, like this one with the parrot. That's beautiful. Yeah, so I'm excited, really, very, very excited to play in this book. I think it's going to be really fun. So yeah, there's a lot of illustrations in here for you to play with. Like I said, all kinds of different shapes and sizes, and I mean, mostly one style, because she does have a very specific style for flowers, but I like the style. I think it's fun. And, you know, applying some of the ideas from her other book will be very interesting on this page. Like this one, for example, would be really fun to do. All of these pages are perforated, so you can pull them out of the book if you don't want to work in the book. But I'm going to try to keep mine in because I like to have my books together. This one's really pretty. I like that one too. And I think coloring this in any style would be great. I just feel like this mixed media style is going to be really effective and just look amazing with it though. So yeah, that was the flip through, and now we're going to play. Okay, so in the book, I decided that I was going to work on this page. I am going to try out some techniques and hopefully they work, fingers crossed. I am going to be using some of the tips and tricks from this Collage Magic artwork that she did. So mine's not going to be exactly the same, but I'm going to do something similar. Use a lot of the tips and tricks that are in the book to hopefully help me as I go along. Now, when I started this, I was not thinking clearly, and acrylic paint is going to cover a lot of that. So I do need to water it down, or I can also use satin glazing liquid. And this also helps it so it doesn't dry out really fast. So this is really helpful for that too. So I'm going to do that as well. And fingers crossed that this works. I have no idea if this is going to be good or bad, but I'm going to speed some of this up, let you watch some of the process, and pop back in every once in a while when I have things to say. So I might do some voiceover work here too. But yeah, I'm excited to play. So let's get started. So I have this super fancy plastic plate that I'm using as a palette, and these are the colors that I picked out for the background. So I'm hoping that that works. I've got some water here. I've got clean water, dirty water, and a couple different brushes. So I have a thicker brush and a thinner brush. And I also have a card, an old gift card that I'm going to use to do some paint scraping. So I'm excited to play. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so this is where I'm at after applying some paint, letting it dry. I started to come in with a little light wash of white just to kind of re-emphasize where some of the petals were, because it is kind of hard to see through. So I'm glad I'm using like these acrylic apple barrel paints because they're not super opaque. So I was still able to see some of the stuff coming through from the bottom. So like in certain parts, yeah, I've got a pretty thick layer, but like with the pink and the yellow and a couple of them, I didn't use the satin glazing liquid, so it still came out pretty thick, but I think this is going to be good. So I've got a collection of scrapbook papers that I'm going to try to tear up and add in some places. And I'm not going to really pay a whole lot of attention to what's going on underneath. I'm going to try not to cover up the flowers as best I can, but if I go over the edge a little bit, then I've got a plan for that. So yeah, so since this is thicker paper, I'm going to be using a glue stick to stick all these down. And yeah, I'm hoping that this works. I'm having fun playing, so I guess that's good. It was fun to just get out the paints and just play. I don't paint very often, so to just make a mess and pretty colors, and yeah, I think this is going to be fun. So I'm going to tear up these paper into a bunch of little shapes and strips and things, and we will get started. All right, so I have the pieces torn and I have them placed where I think I want them. And so I'm going to stick them down and then we'll go from there. So I'm just going to use a glue stick to attach them in place, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I've got some paper on there. I did use my pencil, just this little pencil here, to outline the flowers again. And the nice thing is on the back side is the same image, just in a grayscale. So you can, I took a picture of it so that I could see exactly what I was drawing. So that was very helpful. So now I'm going to paint some more. And we're going to do, I'm going to paint over a few of the little paper things, paper pieces. And I'm also going to draw back in these, the bits that got covered up a little bit. So there's just a little bit here. And then there was a little bit right here. Okay, I think that's it. Maybe just a little here. It's pretty easy to see where the things are too, so that's nice. Okay. Yeah, I did try to fit in pieces into spots where they would fit. I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna try, we'll see how this goes, to use the acrylic paint. I'm gonna paint in a couple of the leaves, and I'm gonna use this turquoise paint that I still have on my palette here. And we're gonna just paint in a couple of the leaves. So like the bigger ones. I'm gonna try to not get in where the flower was. Probably should use a different brush for this, but I don't really know what I'm doing, and I am just playing and having fun, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it too. So I'm just going to do a couple of the bigger leaves like this, and then when I come back in a little while, I'm going to have some paint pens and just play like that. I think that'll be really fun. And I'm not worried about it being super perfect or anything. I'm just trying to get a couple of leaves filled in and not go over where the flowers are. Okay. Let's see, where else is another great big leaf? I think there's one right there. Oh, there's several. So we're just gonna make our own. Because I don't really know where that leaf is underneath all this paint now. So we're just going to make our own. And that's okay. We can do that. It's our page. I feel like that's pretty good. I might do this one too. This one right here. And I'm just going to go right over the paper. I think that's the biggest takeaway that I've had from playing in this book, is that it's just about layering and layering and playing and just trying things out to see what works and what doesn't. Okay, I'm also going to take, so I have this brush that I just destroyed years ago, but it's nice and dry. It's got super bristly bristles. It's not like a smooth thing. So that's how I got these really defined strokes. So I'm going to take a little bit of white, and I'm just going to add a little bit over top of some of this paper just to mess it up a little bit. Like, I'm not trying to cover anything. I'm just trying to make it look like it's part of the piece and not just on top. I also like using this white to break up patches that I don't necessarily love, like this big weird purpley patch that happened when I didn't let my paint dry in between. All right, so I'm gonna add in a little bit of the stuff back into the background with some paint pens, just a few things, a few of the leaves and like extra little fun bits that are that are in there. So like this one here, I am going to go ahead and do this in purple. So I'm just gonna outline what she's got already on here. I'm using Shuttle Art acrylic markers, which are not the greatest, but I think that they'll work well with the, since there's already acrylic paint base, it's gonna work well enough for what I want it for, I think. I'm hoping. If I need to do 2 layers, I can do that too. Okay, so I did the purple ones, drew those in, and then I had a finer tip Tooly Art with like the plastic nib, and I looked at where these little guys are. So I'm gonna draw in the little like flower buds with this pink marker, and I kind of sketched it in with a pen. This is not gonna be as dark or vibrant as maybe I should use the brush tip, maybe that'll work better. Sometimes that works better, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm just drawing like little flower bits in. Sometimes some of my paper didn't stick down all the way, so I need to make sure that that happens a little bit better next time. So I tried to bring back some of the original little flowers that were on there that I've covered up with either paper or paint. I'm not sure how well that worked, but it did okay. All right, so next I'm going to add some more leaves in. I'm gonna use the white for this, I think. That's my plan, at least. Let's see how this goes. So I'm gonna do this leaf here really quick. Oh, I forgot to do that a little bit. Well, I'll do that in a second. So I'm just kind of outlining the leaf here. I feel like that kind of got flipped all around. Yeah, I'm gonna do one here. And then if there's leaves anywhere else where I feel like I want to kind of highlight those, I'll bring that back out with the white as best I can. Okay. I am going to also go over the green leaves that I drew in, and I'm just going to add in some simple lines. I'm going to do that for all of these leaves, and I'm not going right to the edge on this. I'm going a little bit within the paint that I had already put on here. All right, next layer, I'm going to play with water-based markers and see how this works. I'm going to start with the pink, I think. Yeah. And so any areas where that color, this color pink, is like on the flower, I'm just gonna add some shading into, yeah, just like that. And this isn't like, it's not moving a bunch, but it does blend a little bit when you use your, there we go. I like that. Okay. All right, so there's some good shading there. Well, that looks nice. let's do a little bit down here because there's a little bit of pink down in this area. Mixed with a little bit of turquoise, but that's okay. Just, like I said, putting the pink where I see a little bit of pink. I've also used a pencil, so this is kind of blending the pencil in with it a little bit, which is not my goal, but that's okay. And then I've got a little bit of a darker pink here, so I'm going to try that. Oh, see, that's not even dark enough. Try this one. There we go. Try my best not to blend the pencil in there as much as I can. I know that it's kind of just in there. Okay. All right, so there's some pinks. We've got some blues. This is like a, oh, this is really light. Let me grab a different blue. Yeah, this will work here. This is fun. So yeah, I'm just going to go through and just shade, like I said, with the color that kind of goes with the background that I've got. When I'm working with these pencils down here, that's when it's going to be, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do those in ink really quick. I probably should. I'll go do that really quick. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna ink those up really quick, and hopefully then I can do them justice. So I will be back with you. Okay, I'm going to try again. I do have a little bit of pencil on there, but for the most part, it's all black fine liners. I did use my Staedtler pigment liner, so this is a supposedly waterproof marker, which I've never had it bleed before, so it will be interesting to see if that's the true statement, which it's turning out to be so far. I think it's gonna be good. So I'm just adding a little bit more color to some of the petals, just to I don't know, add depth and dimension and stuff like that. I will be coming back in with another couple darker markers here in a minute. Darker marker, sorry. Every time I rhyme inadvertently, I just have to say it back. Anyway, I will be coming back in and adding shadows and things like that here in a bit. I'm gonna see if I can just adding a little bit of marker to these little guys, just to give it so it looks like it's not just painted on and it's actually, you know, supposed to be there, I guess. I don't know. That's not blending very well, but it's not terrible. And this is not supposed to be like super perfect either, so just embrace the crazy. I do have another page in here farther back in the book where I am planning to do like a nice page, but these ones are just going to be kind of whatever I have that works. That's the name of the game here. Yeah, and these ones I did kind of go over them a little too much, so you can't see the original line work very well. Okay, there's a little bit of color in the flowers at least now. I need to darken up shadows around them. So I'm going to take a gray, just a cool gray, And I'm going to, I'm trying to figure out where my light source is coming from first. I don't know. We're just gonna give some depth to things that are overlapping other things. Let's just do it that way. So yeah, I'm just gonna go around and do that really quick and see how we do. I'm not being super precise with these either. This is just, we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is where I'm at right now. And I'm still trying to figure out what else I need to do. I think I might need to push some of the background farther into the background and do a little bit more shading on these flowers. So I'm just going to keep building up the color on these flowers in the foreground and just really kind of try to push them up a little bit more because I feel like they're just falling back into the background, and they're supposed to be the focal point for me. So that's kind of what my game plan is right now. So I'm just gonna keep playing with this for a little bit. If I decide to come in and do some paint to like push them into the background a little bit more, I will definitely pop back on and share that with you guys. But I just have to keep playing with it. That's the other thing about these is it's just kind of like you go until it feels done. And it just doesn't feel done yet. Like I feel like it's just not done yet. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep playing. And I can go with a little bit darker paint towards the base of things, since I've got the lighter pink already on there. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna keep playing. So I will talk to you again here in a second and we'll see how this goes. Okay, it's getting better and I think that I'm just about done, but I'm gonna go ahead and add in highlights with my paint pen. And I'm just gonna kind of go and add them on some of the flowers, some highlights and dots and things like that. Just like little lines everywhere. I'm not really sure what exactly I'm doing. I'm just adding some fun stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through and do that on all the flowers. And hopefully that will fix my issue. I'm also gonna use the highlight on the purple leaves and the little berry things on the outside edges. I don't love the way those look, but hopefully, again, the white pen will help me fix it. We all know how much I love a white pen. So yeah, I'm just gonna hope and pray that this is what it needed. I already like this flower so much better with the white highlights in. I feel like it just helped, I don't know, make it pop off the page a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing that and I will talk to you again here in a second. Okay, I'm gonna do one last thing and hopefully it won't be too stupid, but I really wanted to do some black paint splatters, which I've already got on my page. I always make a mess when I do this, but I just wanted something else to finish it off. And I think that the black paint is what it needs. So I'm gonna just go for it. I've got quite a bit of paint and water on my brush. I'm trying to get a little bit more. See if I can get a big drop out of that. Nope. Okay, I think that's it. I don't want to take the chance that I'm going to get more on my flowers. Okay, so yeah, that is it. That's what I did. I like it. I think it's a fun page. It did take a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but there it is. So I'm going to take this off over here. No, I'm not, because it's not. It needs to heat up. Hold on a second. Okay, I think I'm done. Yeah, this one went a little differently than I thought it was going to, but I don't hate it. It's brighter than I thought it was going to be. It's really fun. Got lots of fun patterns and textures in there. Yeah, it's not something I would normally do, and it's a different part of my creative side, so I think that that's good. So yeah, so that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the flip through and watching me play around in this book. Yeah, let me know if you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff from me. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm having fun. So yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.